people of Earth, how are you? My name is Al. Across the table from me is my good friend Joe. Together we call ourselves... What, Joe?
Well, it's kind of right.
Kind of right, everybody.
And
we're back for another go-around.
the name, in case you're a first-timer,
And you need a primer.
was never to be kind of right-wing.
Right.
It was our first go-around with the name was sort of right.
Yeah.
Because we don't want to say that we're right, meaning correct, not right, meaning right of center.
Yeah.
Because neither one of us knows anything about what we're talking about.
Nope. We talk very seldom about shit that I'm expert at, one of which is drinking.
Right.
I'm expert at that. We don't talk about drinking a lot just because...
Because it's boring, because we know how to do that.
It's a lot like breathing, swimming, all that shit. We do it, and we do it well. It's second nature. I'll just say it again. We were just talking about this. And
skydiving. We don't talk about that because that's boring. I've done that so many times.
I was asking my buddy how he was doing with the drinking, and he's like, you know what? Fucking 50 years old. You got to figure most of the drinking is behind you. How much more fucking damage am I going to do? I can't physically drink the amount I used to anyway. You might as well just have a couple, 3-4 beers. You know?
And I don't know about you, but if I wasn't doing this podcast right now, I would be in my little jammies watching television.
Probably shit-faced because you drank more beer. You used to drink more beer in the afternoon when you weren't doing podcasts.
Yeah, but I mean, the beer I drink is half the alcohol of the regular beer.
Right. It's a thirst
So
quencher.
I never get fucked up.
Yeah.
Actually, that would be a great sponsor for us, Anheuser-Busch, with the
Select 55.
Select 55, baby.
Yeah.
And it's 55 calories a can.
And really good ice cold.
2.4% alcohol.
Yeah.
You can drink a 30-pack of it and not be drunk.
Wow.
Have a nice little glow
Yeah,
on.
you'll be drunk. Yeah.
So if you want a beer and you want to pretend that if you're a volume guzzler,
Yeah.
this is the beer for you.
Yeah, it just is. Now, I used to be a volume guzzler. I'm just not anymore. Now I want to drink as little as possible and get drunk as much as possible. That's why I'm on the vodka, everybody. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you've got a. You have a better. You're a better drinker than I am. Maybe you've got more discipline. Because I just start drinking. If I'm drinking and it's strong stuff, or
You drink it like beer.
I just start guzzling it.
Yeah.
And in 5 hours, I'm in a fucking coma.
Yeah.
And I can't do anything.
Instead of a gallon of beer, you've drank a gallon of booze.
I got to go to bed.
Yeah.
And that's it. So.
Do you think it's common sense? To me, it seems like common sense. In some areas of the country do it. And it's in the news, so I'll bring it up. President Trump says that we're just going to pay teachers more if they fucking carry a gun in school. You think that'll help curb some fucking shit? Oh, by the way, there was a deputy who was outside that school in Florida in Parkland. There was a deputy on duty during school, armed, and he waited outside for 4 minutes after the fucking shooting started.
Yeah, who
because
wants
he was
to go
scared.
in?
Yet he was being paid. So maybe that's your answer.
I got to be honest with you.
If a deputy with a gun couldn't fucking deter it,
I have never.
Why would a teacher with a gun deter it?
In a situation where I had to face somebody with a gun, and I'm not a military person.
Yeah.
I'm not overly brave. I don't know how I would react if I had a gun and I had to face someone with a gun, because now you're talking about killing somebody. Yeah. So,
well, you want to be as real close to them when they have the gun.
You're
probably going to get it away from them.
I'm guessing I would be afraid.
Yeah, I would be afraid if I was across the room, but if I was right next to someone with a gun, I would just stick it up his ass.
Yeah, I think you're full of shit.
No.
Because you're talking about killing the person.
That's fine.
And
he pretty much
I believe
deserves to
I
die.
don't have any, because I don't really like people that much, except the people that listen to our show. But, I like animals more than I
like people. Yeah.
Because most people are fucking useless fools.
So do you think most people are bad? To circle back to what we were talking about the other day?
No, I just
They're
think
just dumb? They're good but dumb? Good and dumb? Good and dumb.
Most people are, I don't know. This is
Go ahead. You got to fucking speculate. You the one. You like to talk about this fucking bullshit, not me.
It's not really true, but
What's
I don't
not
think
true?
it's correct. I say because most people just are fucking
stupid.
Yeah, well, it's not. You know something? Here's the deal. We have the IQ average is 100. Okay, that means 50% by definition of the people in the United States have an IQ that is below average. That's by.
Well, it's not a median; it's an average. So
no, that look.
A lot of people. There's not one.
Let's put it this way:
it's not one person with 100 IQ. Most people have 100 IQ.
No, average, meaning if you take all of the IQs of all the people, the average is 100.
Yeah. So
you have a bell curve, and you draw a line up through the top.
Do you think?
And that's where it peaks, and then it starts going up.
I understand.
The IQ goes up or down in either direction.
So does that mean the same amount of people have the same amount? It doesn't matter.
Probably the same amount of people
have a 62 as they do 100.
Well, the average is 100.
Okay.
So probably not. Otherwise, the average would be 62.
That's what I'm saying. So more people have 100 IQ. So it's not 50% of the population.
Yes, it is.
That is less than. It's not. How
less,
can it be 50%?
Less than or equal to 100, let's say.
There you go.
Would you
that
agree?
I will go with.
Will you go along with that?
I'll go along with that. And I wasn't even trying to be
and
semantic on it.
A lot of people are just fucking stupid. I hate greedy people. I hate people that sit there talk about money. I fucking hate them. I hate.
I don't hear people talking about money that often. Do you?
No, but there's a level of greed that goes on.
There is a lot of greed. I'll put it that way.
It's just fucking greed, and it's just stupid and futile and soul sucking. And a lot of, I think it's the United States. You have capital, you have a capitalist country, and as it turns out, compared to all the other countries, it works very well as far as creating a country where you can have, gadgets and nobody's starving to death for the most part. Everybody's got like a roof over their head. As Americans, on the whole, we live really well.
Yeah, people suck, but the USA rules.
But one of the things that capitalism does is it creates. It's all about money. It's all about how much you can go out and fucking, claw your way into some fucking situation where you can make a lot of money. And then...
Because the more you make, the more you consume.
And then buy more shit.
Yeah.
And then make more money.
It's
and
about
then
consuming.
buy more shit.
Yeah.
And to what... I don't know what the fucking end is. So that, you die with the most shit.
I think you want to have nice stuff and you want to leave something for your kids. I don't know.
I don't want to have any nice. I don't really have any nice stuff.
You want to have stuff that you like. Whatever you like is nice stuff. Not you. I'm saying people in general. Whatever. If you gather stuff, it's going to be stuff you like.
I have a
for
lot
whatever
of
reason.
stuff. I am kind of a pack rat.
Yeah.
As a matter of fact, I've got a twin-cylinder Kohler engine, 26 horsepower, that's been sitting in this room that our podcast is taking place in. It's been sitting there for, I'd say, 4 years.
Yeah, and it's going to be...
very nice.
We're going to make an experimental aircraft out of it.
Yes. Speaking of which, I'm glad you brought that up.
Isn't it funny how that happens sometimes?
Now, let me try to explain the setup to you. We've got this...
I just want my asshole to stop burning. Go ahead, sorry.
Well, I think you got to attend to that before the podcast.
No, the shit I just took came out sideways.
So Al and I are sitting at this table that I made that has tremendous cracks in it because I don't know what the fuck happened, but it's screwed up. But it's stable, and so one end kind of has a triangle. So I sit at the triangle side, and then there's a flat end or straight end that Al takes that has about twice the room as one of the triangles. So he's got 2 laptop computers, and I've got one over here.
Board.
And Al's got a mixing board over by him, and he does all the sound. That's why our show, I give it to him, sounds awesome because he knows all about sound.
Less is more.
And I'm sitting in front, and I have a computer I have in front of me, which was my work computer, which when we started this podcast, I bought 2 refurbished Dell computers. And I've got an HP, what is it? I think it's a Pavilion. It's an HP Pavilion computer, and it's got Microsoft Windows 8.1 on.
Oh, you have 8 on that? Oh.
Now, so what I've been doing, now Al had to go and relieve himself, and this is probably 20 minutes ago. And here's the deal with this computer. This computer, I leave on all the time. I never shut it off. And the reason being is because when I shut it off, I have to turn it push the power button until it turns off. I have to do that 15 to 20 times to get it to a position where it'll fucking boot up. And which brings up I want to bring up my continuing
hatred.
Absolute fucking hatred for Microsoft as a company, for Bill Gates, who is not a visioned person. He's not a man. He doesn't deserve the money that he has. He's a piece of shit. And for whatever reason,
he's actually hindered mankind's advancement.
He
totally has.
Absolutely has a monopoly. Nobody has more of a monopoly than Bill Gates.
Behooves him to continue to make shitty operating systems.
His operating system is a fucking piece of trash.
Yeah.
Can you imagine? And I mean, think of, first of all, if you there's people that will go, oh well, you can get Linux or fucking Googix or some other operating system. Well, I'll tell you what. You go to any store to buy a PC, any store.
And it's got Windows in it.
And it's going to have Windows.
Yeah.
Now, you could go to like Ed's Computer Supply, who's got used computers, and maybe he can supply you with a used computer with. But if you go to like a Best Buy or a Target or a Walmart or anywhere where they sell PCs, it's coming with fucking Windows. So to say that this asshole doesn't have a monopoly is ludicrous. And the government determined that he had a monopoly back in the 90s, and they didn't fucking break the company up. And think about if they had, like I've said before, if they broke up Microsoft. And now this doesn't take the money away from Bill Gates. What it does is it takes Windows and say they turn it into 5 companies. I don't know how it works, but it gets broken up, and then Bill Gates owns an equal share in every one of those
companies. He'll probably be richer until he dies. He'll make more money.
Well, when Standard Oil was broken up, which is the Rockefellers, John D. Rockefeller became
a billionaire,
wildly richer.
Yeah.
Because think about it, you're going to have 5 companies that has the Windows code, and and I'm guessing this. Maybe it's 10, maybe it's 3, and they're going to be able to make the operating system so fucking great. So if you're one of these people where they can cater operating systems to how you want to use it, which Microsoft doesn't do. And they can stop having to do this fucking... Every time Microsoft wants to pull in a bunch of cash, they release a different operating system.
Well, yeah.
A new one.
Yeah.
That's still just as fucking horrible as the one that they released before.
10's not bad.
I
liked XP, and then I liked 7.
They suck. They all
I understand.
Suck. They fucking slow down. The longer you own them, the more they slow down. And it's just it's absolute It's an absolute. I'm thinking that every year that goes by in technology.
Yeah, he's held us back 5 years. Yeah, I'm with you. We're on the same page.
And why this is allowed to go on?
We would definitely have flying cars and clean air by now.
Well, it's just
there was
you
no
know, and you can go buy an Apple computer if you want to, but it's it's $2,000 out the door.
Yeah,
you can buy a Windows PC for $450. It'd probably be a lot cheaper if they didn't have to pay fucking Microsoft $100 for a shit ass piece of shit cunt operating system.
I was gonna say that 10 was almost intuitive, but it's intuitive for a retard who learned how to use computers.
It's a piece of shit. I mean,
you do have to fucking. It is easier to look for shit right now.
One of the things that's
that way.
Let's look at it. Let's look for example.
Yeah. Oh, 8 is awful. You got the worst of the.
Look,
that's the worst.
Here's the thing about Microsoft and Windows. So you go in and you want your fucking documents, okay? You've got your documents, and you create these fucking folders. But if you download something, it downloads into the download folder. It doesn't. As soon as you download something, there ought to be a box. What would you like to call this? And where do you want to put it?
XP did that.
Well, I don't know whether it did or not. I don't remember it doing that. In Windows 10, Windows 8, Windows 7 does not fucking do that.
You got to look for it.
So you download some file. Say it's a owner's manual for the dildo you just bought your wife, and it downloads as 2273-4756.
You can tell it where to download before you download it, though.
So you always end up, because then you take it, and if you copy it and paste it into the documents folder and rename it, now you've got 2 of them on your computer taking up hard drive. And in your download file, you've got all kinds of shit you don't even know what the fuck it is. And I am still waiting. It has been 30 minutes. I have a screen. I just clicked on this PC, and it's got a green bar expanding. It's taking a few minutes to show my fucking documents.
Don't yell at me, but do you have a virus on that machine? I don't even know if you get viruses on machines anymore. I haven't had a virus on a machine for 10 years.
Here's the virus.
Yeah.
Bill and Melinda Gates are the fucking
Poor
virus.
Melinda. By the way,
fuck that cunt.
They did the.
She married some. She knew what she was getting into. She married the guy with $100 billion or whatever he's got. She's a fucking cunt.
They just did the old real world.
Fuck you, Melinda, and fuck his kids too.
Yeah, I'm with you on that one. They just did the
cocksucker.
The old real world test on Bill Gates on, I don't know if it was 60 Minutes or somebody. He definitely has not an inkling what anything costs. You figure he kind of would, but he just doesn't.
No. But you know what?
I mean, you might not even know it. What does a loaf of bread cost?
I have no. I don't.
So you don't. You don't go. So, but they were asking him shit like that. But he doesn't even know what a car costs. You know what I mean?
Well, I'll tell you what. I watched this, and I would look it up on my computer, but it's still fucking loading.
Oh my God, Joe, that's awful. You want my machine with 7 in it?
No.
The problem with this machine isn't the operating. Well, it is, but it's not gunked up. But this fucking pad is used. I bought this used for the San Diego trip a year ago almost, by the way. And the pad is well worn. I gotta get a mouse for that.
Look, here's the deal.
You got any spare mice?
Why couldn't?
Sorry, I didn't mean
the only way to clean your fucking computer, to really clean it, is to reinstall the operating system, which wipes out all of your fucking files.
Yeah, then your
files. So why the fuck can't they? And your programs. Why the fuck?
Well, the programs definitely. But
you let me finish. Why the fuck can't
I'm cheering for you, buddy.
Can't you? I don't need it. I'm trying to explain this.
There's
why
2 of us in this room,
can't you have an operating system that you can reload that doesn't delete all your fucking files in your operating system?
That's crazy.
And your files in your programs.
Well, that's why they have these, but that ends up not working out well either.
No,
you know what I mean?
You
Those
can
fucking back up. Just the hard
and
drive.
Most people don't want to fucking be a computer specialist.
Oh yeah.
I mean, you can. I know that I can copy a disk image to a fucking external hard drive,
Listen.
and then have the disk boot up from it, and then fucking load it. And I don't fucking want to know how. I don't even want to know how to do that.
You know what though? I think
But Bill Gates makes you do that because his fucking company, which was based on DOS. His company was based on DOS. That's where they started making real money when they licensed DOS to
which they bought for about 30 grand.
50 grand.
Oh, it's 50. I thought it was 30.
And they bought it for like $50,000, improved it a little bit, and then licensed it to IBM. And that was the start of the billions for Bill Gates.
Do you think the actual hardware sucks too, though? And I know that's not Microsoft, but I mean, nobody's really.
No,
this is okay. This one, it's okay.
I think the fucking hardware's great.
Do you think it's fine?
And there's so much competition,
right,
between hardware manufacturers. I mean, you've got HP, you've got Dell, you've got fucking Sony, you've got Lenovo, you've got
the shit should last longer. They got to figure out a way to get them to last longer than 2 years, man.
Last as long because your CPU is
just
running
burnt the fuck out.
It's working so hard to use this fucking piece of shit.
Yeah.
Windows software from Bill Gates,
awful
cocksucker.
Right? Yep.
And that Steve Ballmer, who was the president or CEO.
I think he's the new guy in charge.
He's but he's gone now too, and he's a cocksucker. All these people that don't deserve to have the money. They don't. They didn't earn it. You know, Steve Jobs earned it. He really did. He earned the dough. These fucking assholes, visionless scum. The only thing that
they're snake oil salesmen.
The only thing they did is they realized that they should get there first, and that's Bill Gates' only fucking thing.
Well, that's not particularly a stroke of genius now, is it?
Well, in hindsight, it probably is, but
he was in the right place at the right time.
The only thing that he's ever done that is remotely innovative.
Right place at the right time.
Look. You know, you want to say, oh, well, what about the...
I wonder if I put one of these ice cubes on my rectal hole, if it'll feel better.
What was I talking about? So you can buy
shut up and then
you can buy Microsoft Office, okay? Microsoft Office, which, you know, you pay out the ass for. But... nobody at Microsoft invented this shit. The spreadsheet is a direct fucking copy of Lotus 1-2-3.
And now it's just
let me finish.
It's fucking downloadable. You can't even buy hard copies of it.
Microsoft Word is just a fucking is a version, I don't know whether they bought it or not. Word is fucking Word Perfect. I used to use Word Perfect. It was a great program before fucking Microsoft Word.
Word's not bad.
Well, it ought to be fucking good. They stole a good fucking program, and then they would put it on their machines, which was also illegal, packaging this shit. They put Netscape Navigator, which was a wonderful browser. I mean, that fucking turd Explorer that nobody uses.
It's awful. Now that's called Edge. It's not even Explorer.
It's a fucking piece of shit.
It's awful. Just Chrome is way better.
It's as ugly as Melinda Gates.
By the way, there are tons of browsers. There's more browsers out there. I hesitate to experiment with them because I think Chrome is just fine. I've never had a problem with Chrome.
I used
to do the Firefox thing when I had actual PCs. I don't have PCs anymore. I'm up to 5 laptops right now and a smartphone. No tablets. I never use my tablet.
These are PCs.
Well, they call them right. You have to admit there used to be a distinction between the laptop and the PC. The PC used to mean the tower and the separate monitor and the keyboard. Now they're all PCs. I understand that, but they used to make a distinction between the fucking, you know what I'm saying, the multi-component fucking computer system. You know,
I have no idea what you're talking about.
When you have. Joe.
Go ahead. No, explain.
The thing with the tower
and
the separate keyboard and the separate screen.
That would be
a desktop.
That would be your desktop PC.
Yeah, desktop.
And then
I'm sorry,
would be your
desktop,
laptop
and it's a laptop,
PC.
right? But I think that's my thing.
But they were still a personal computer.
You're right, and I was wrong. So what I'm saying to you now is what I meant to say was desktop, not PC. I'm sorry, buddy.
Now,
you're way more of a cool computer guy than I am. I'm just a guy.
Not.
I'm just a guy who can figure out any fucking computer program there is.
Now I can't close Chrome in this fucking piece of shit operating system.
Did you? Oh, and you know the other thing is you used to be able to
piece of fucking shit.
You used to be able to get the Chrome, right? Download it off of Internet Explorer and then delete fucking. You can't delete Internet Explorer anymore.
Do you think Bill Gates' wife
or Edge
shits into his mouth?
No, I think she shits into her own toilet, one that he never even sees. I don't think they eat together. I don't think they sleep together.
No,
what do you think of that?
I think they're in love.
I don't think so. Pretty sure they sleep in different wings of the fucking house.
Just fucking.
He's probably never home.
Horrible, awful.
I get a feeling he's still never home. Although they do that foundation thing together.
Yeah, they run that awful foundation where they help everybody except people in the United States.
Except, well, that's fine. I mean, he can do whatever he wants.
He's a piece of shit. And why Warren Buffett doesn't see through that? I don't know. Maybe Warren's a piece of shit. Warren at least earned
you're talking about
his money
just because that's who he chooses, but that's not his
Warren's
only.
giving all his fucking money basically
to
Microsoft
at the end of the day.
I mean, to the Gates Foundation
when he's
Bill
done,
and Melinda Gates.
So
he's giving the money right now.
In the meantime, he doesn't give money to any other philanthropic causes. Just that.
Nothing. Not
That's
that
crazy, huh?
I'm not a study on Warren Buffett. His kids each have a foundation, but they're getting like $1 billion each.
Sure.
As opposed to
That's
Warren
plenty.
Buffett's has given like $40 or $50 billion to the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation already.
Why do you think that is? Why? I know you're saying you don't know why, but you got to have some guess
as to why.
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe he likes him. He likes Bill and Melinda.
He likes them personally.
Yeah.
And that's enough for him.
And maybe Warren...
You must like him a lot then.
Maybe Warren doesn't use a computer with fucking Windows.
I get a feeling Warren's...
And he doesn't understand how fucking horrible the products
Warren's
are.
probably got one of them fucking small fucking like tickers or whatever. Like the old-fashioned ticker. Who knows?
I don't... I
bet you he
probably uses an Apple.
I tell you, I was just going to say he's probably set up with the fattest Mac there is, and that's just
or he has a fucking... Bill Gates pays someone to be in Omaha that goes to Warren's office every day, who's an expert, a $200,000 a year guy, and make sure Warren's computer runs like a fucking champ.
I don't think that's a Microsoft issue. I think that's an IBM issue. You know what I mean, or whatever. I mean,
no. I mean, there's never really. I mean, hard drives last almost forever.
Is there such a thing as IBM anymore?
Yeah, of course.
Is there? I don't know. I mean, I never see an IBM machine. Or do they put out? Or do they own like Hewlett Packard and fucking all them other ones and Dell? And I don't know.
Type into your computer. Wilbur Wright.
Oh no! I opened fucking.
Yeah.
I opened the wrong browser.
Well, it doesn't really matter.
Why?
Does it have a search? See, you can't even get the Windows to work.
Well, it's because your
watching,
internet is slow in this house too.
I'm watching a fucking circle spin around.
The internet.
My screen is cloudy.
What do you want me to look up? The internet on my phone. Go ahead. It's quick.
Wright brothers and Curtis.
Wright brothers and Curtis. Patent war?
Yeah.
Okay. What do you want to know?
This goes directly... What's Curtis's first name?
The Wright brothers patent war, and that was with a dude named... Boy, it gets way the... Glenn Curtis with two S's, Curtis. Glenn with two
Curtis.
N's. Yep.
Okay. Here's one of the problems with the capitalist thing we have here.
Yeah. This is Wi-Fi, by the way, not this is Wi-Fi on my phone.
So the Wright brothers, who you're brought up in school to believe invented the airplane, and they did. I guess they were the first people to actually fly it. So they invented the airplane. Now, the deal is that they went in after they flew, and basically the patent worked this way in their time, which is right around 1900, I'm guessing. I'd look it up, but my fucking Microsoft PC is still fucking... I can't shut it down because then I'll have to fucking push the button 750 times to get it to work, but it's just spinning a fucking circle around, waiting, this fucking piece of shit. And so what happened is the Wright brothers, basically, they flew first, okay? So they go into the patent office and they go, well, we want a patent. And they patented the wing. And basically, anybody that wanted to fucking fly an airplane had to go to Orville and Wilbur Wright.
Yeah.
Okay? So Glenn Curtis went to Orville and Wilbur and said he was an engine designer, and a really good one. And he had an awesome engine, and he said to the Wright brothers, hey, why don't we go into business together, and I'll make the engines, and you can make the planes. And Orville and Wilbur said, nah, we're not interested. So Curtis said, well, I'll just make planes. And Curtis, the Wright brothers had a wing that basically bended. It didn't have ailerons on it. You know what ailerons are? When you're flying in the plane, in the jet plane, and you look out on the wing, to the back of the wing, there's a surface that moves up and down on each side. Those are ailerons. Now, Orville and Wilbur didn't have those on their plane. What they did is the wing flexed a little bit. Right. And that's how they maneuvered. Well, Curtis invented the aileron. Curtis invented a ton of shit. And he was sued by Orville and Wilbur because they would not license. Even if Curtis was willing to pay them a royalty, but you have to get the okay from the royalty holder to even do it.
Yeah.
Meaning you can't just fucking pay him. They wouldn't let him because they didn't like him or whatever.
Did those guys die rich?
Orville and Wilbur? I don't know. Well, one of them died because I just watched this documentary.
One of them died pretty young. I know that.
One of them died young.
Yeah, because they were early 30s, late 20s when they did their whole Kitty Hawk thing,
so
right?
The point of this thing that I'm not doing.
Yeah, what is the point,
so
Joe?
Elegantly
Jesus
here,
fucking Christ.
is that World War I came around,
Yeah.
and the United States government said, look,
We're taking this over.
fuck this.
Yeah.
Orville and Wilbur are going to get 1%
And
of
we're
the
putting
royalties.
some aliens on some planes and shit.
Anyone that can build a fucking plane that we can throw bombs out of.
So did Curtis
can
do
do it.
that? Did Curtis go on to do
And
that?
It's Curtis something is the name of the company, and it's still around today.
But did they build their own engines and their own planes? Like they did the whole thing? Yeah, they built like a kitten. Like,
Avionics, everything. They have more to do with the modern airplane today than Orville and Wilbur Wright.
yeah,
will
yeah,
have.
I'm sure, right.
They didn't innovate anything. All Orville and Wilbur did after they flew was just sue people.
Right. Hold that thought. What's the
over
fucking
patents.
What's the network key for the Netgear fucking internet fucking giver outer here? The security key.
What?
To sign on in the internet in your house, what do I need to do?
You need to type in a password.
What is it?
Which I'm not putting out over this fucking thing.
I'll beep it out.
No, you won't. You won't find it.
You want to write it?
It'll take you 10 minutes to find it. Look, go to the Cabana thing first.
All right, no, I got the Cabana. The Cabana one just wasn't coming in that strong.
Cabana one is the strongest.
Well,
The other one doesn't really
you're
work.
wrong, but I'll
Believe me, the other one doesn't come in.
Well, that's
it's
the one I'm
fucked
on
up.
with this one. I don't know why this one got disconnected. You know what I mean? It's just sitting here. You fucking cunt. Fucking Bill Gates cunt fuck.
Yeah, it probably has something to do with Microsoft Windows,
I mean,
which is a
it's just
piece
the
of shit.
Cancel that. And then Connections are available. So you say Cabana. Come on, open up, you cunt. I don't want to. I mean, all right. Now the Cabana one.
Here you go.
You're the best, Joe.
So put that in. My fucking computer is still. That's me banging a fucking computer, folks. Yeah. This piece of fucking shit.
Well, maybe the hardware
Bill
is
Gates cunt.
The fucking hardware is standing up to the abuse.
Yeah, it does.
You know? By the way, I hit my first PC.
Melinda Gates and ugly fucking kids.
My first PC was a compact setup in 1999.
Fuck Bill Gates.
It still had them fucking long ass thing in the back of the monitor. And
what's that now?
Had 8 gig. My first personal computer had 8 gigabyte fucking hard drive. You know what I mean? That's how late I got into it.
My first personal computer was an Apple.
Yeah.
Which Chris Clark, the guy that lived next to me at the time, why don't you take that computer? You have your computer right on top of the fucking power cord.
I like it that way.
Yeah. It's a good way to start a fire, and it rocks back and forth on the power cord.
Joe, fucking concentrate on Chris Clark's story.
Chris Clark said to me,
overly cranky about shit.
Chris Clark said to me, "Oh, that's a piece of shit." Now, this had a mouse, and it had... I have to turn this fucking computer off. I can't believe it.
You got to do it again, huh?
I have to. It had a mouse, and it had a graphical user interface. We're talking about, I bought this computer used from a guy that did publishing, because Apple was really big on the publishing, I guess.
Right.
I bought it used. It was 1988, 89 when I bought it. And I built a house, moved into the house, lived next to this gentleman that was a computer. He was a hobbyist. And he said, "Oh, that's a piece of shit, the computer that you have."
That wasn't his job. Didn't he do computers at work?
He was an IT guy.
Oh, okay. So that's nice. If you're a hobbyist in computers, you got a job at IT. That's nice.
But so he had some deal where he got me a computer, took mine, and it was a fucking 286, and I turned it on. I said, "Where the fuck's the mouse?" "Ah, you don't need a mouse." And I turned it on, and I went from a screen that had things you can click on and open a Word program to this flashing fucking C.
Awful.
This is the world according to Bill Gates.
Yeah.
And then 10 years later, like in the early, well, I shouldn't say 10 years, several years later, because Microsoft, I believe, made the software for Apple. Bill Gates was talking about this amazing new thing called Windows he's going to come out with. Remember, like, Windows 3.1 and shit before 95?
Yeah, I mean, that was before. My first machine had 98.
And I didn't know what he was talking about. Oh, this thing's going to be amazing, this window. Essentially what he launched was what Apple had been using for 10 fucking years.
Yeah.
So Bill Gates should be fucking killed.
He's definitely held us back.
Should be drilled with a fucking... some sort of a steam drill.
She should be watertight and out of sight.
His kids should be boiled in some sort of fucking...
oil?
Yeah.
We'll give him oil. I mean, do you want me to look up the children's names for you?
No, I don't want to sentence them by name to death. But I want them to die. Because I don't want anything about Bill Gates.
That if you are a child of Bill Gates, oh my God. Can you imagine? I wonder if Bill Gates has got some extramarital children. He might. It's pretty funny.
No, Bill Gates is a piece of shit.
Yeah, he sucks. You know what I've never, ever been on, and I'm going to go on it now because you go on it, is Drudge. I've literally never been on Drudge.
I would go on Drudge.
Do you have to, pay them or anything?
No, it's free. And the only reason I go on it is...
Boy, it looks like shit, doesn't it? It just looks terrible.
It's looked the same.
Oh, my God.
You can go on Drudge or you can go on Real Clear Politics.
Okay. Does that look better? Drudge looks bad, man.
Go to
Jesus Christ.
You can go to Real Clear Politics.
All right, here I go.
All you're looking for is a list.
It's realclearpolitics.com.
Just go type into a browser. Real Clear Politics.
I got it. Yep.
It'll come up.
Yep, I'm there.
And what it does is just gives you a list of like everything that printed. I mean, everything that was printed in the paper that day, like the Washington Post. And it's funny if you look
on the homepage is what you're saying. Just look
at Real Clear Politics.
Yeah.
It has a list.
Okay.
And if you notice, and it's funny, you look at
I see. Okay.
Headlines, all the Trump-hating papers like the New York Times, the New Yorker,
are at the top.
The Washington Post have anti-Trump fucking headings.
Oh, here's one that says putting Bill Gates on the spot. Let's just hammer on him for a little bit. Putting Bill Gates on the spot. By the way, Melinda doesn't look that bad,
she's
man.
Fucking gross.
She's
fucking gross.
So in their annual letter about the state of their philanthropic foundation,
they both can fucking die.
They answer 10 tough questions, quote unquote, and that they commonly get asked. Let's see what they were. Why don't you give money to fight climate change is the thing that they ask most. Why do you work with corporations? Well, I mean, aren't corporations just people, Joe?
He's the biggest shareholder in fucking Microsoft, you idiot.
Yeah,
He's
right.
asking these questions, which is a corporation.
People.
And it's a fucking horrible corporation.
Yeah. There's no actual
So Bill
list
Gates
there.
isn't afraid to invest in horrible corporations, meaning he owns $700 million, and I said this, I believe, on the last podcast, $700 million in a company that is poisoning people that live around the landfill that the company owns.
Right.
With radioactive waste.
I mean,
Bill Gates has $700 million in that company.
Right.
Bill Gates has no problem poisoning people to make money so that he can, make sure that African kids don't get sick. So instead of dying from a sickness, they starve to death.
Right.
That's Bill Gates' claim to fame.
Well, here's a fun little list. The 5 most brilliant children in history. And if I had to think of it, I might have gotten close with number 1, but I didn't know the other 5. Number 1, what do you think? 5 most brilliant children in history.
I don't know.
Just open your mind for a second.
Children?
Mozart, right? They're saying he's probably the most, because of what he did. He wrote symphonies.
Just play the piano at fucking 4 or
3.
something?
He was composing symphonies at 3. So he was number 1. They count it back down. There's some physics kid, Michaela Fodolig, who is half Filipino, half American white. Michael Jackson apparently had a fucking IQ of over 160.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised.
Right? That's crazy, right? Now they're saying only because...
And he didn't molest any boys.
Only because...
I know that for a fact,
So I'm actually going up. They count it back down. Number 5 will infuriate you. So we've already done 3. Number 4 is a troubled mathematic kid, girl. I don't know how they figured it out, but she had a huge fucking brain. And number 5, most brilliant child in history. Child meaning someone pre-18, not prepubescent. Bill Gates.
Yeah. They have these lists all the time. Like,
doesn't it make you mad?
10 best places to live in the United States.
And somehow Waterbury, Connecticut is among them. No, I'm just kidding. Waterbury's always the bottom of the list.
And they're never the fucking same. They're not even close. It's just it's how Cosmopolitan has been selling fucking magazines.
Yeah, I mean
forever.
it's lowest common denominator
positions.
Right.
That will make your man light on fire.
And now that's what people click on. That's
bullshit.
what people click on their phone now, and it's the same thing. You're right. It's the same thing.
Maybe this is what I was
lowest
getting
common
at in the
denominator
beginning.
shit.
What I'm talking about, and this is what happens in a capitalist society.
Yeah.
You have people that are just selling useless bullshit, and there's people that are so fucking stupid that they're buying into it.
Isn't there a sucker born every minute? Wait, did I just make that up?
No.
Somebody who lived 180 years ago made that up
Yeah,
or whatever.
we're
P.T. Barnum.
Neither
There's
one
a
of us
sucker
are covering
born every
new
minute.
ground here.
Yeah,
Bill
yeah,
Gates
yeah.
sucks, and he has for a long time, and people have been saying.
Joe, we
got to
talk about something. Nobody.
No, I know.
We got to talk about something.
It's
a slow news cycle. Son, it's slow out there.
There's somebody born every fucking minute.
There's a sucker born every minute.
There's a sucker and 3 to take him.
Yeah.
And 3 fucking people to take advantage of.
And if they all fucking get a third of his shit, like the U.S. government, the state,
so Bill Gates
and Bill Gates does,
by IQ, I know is not fucking the 5th smartest child ever born.
I agree with you, but I just thought it was an interesting list. They weren't doing it strictly by IQ. They were doing it by...
No, his Bill Gates...
Apparently, he had some shit written before he was 16. I don't know. What the fuck? I don't know.
What Bill Gates saw,
Yeah.
and Paul Allen, by the way, because Bill Gates didn't find us by himself.
Well, Paul Allen had the upfront money for some of the shit.
Well, Paul, I don't know that. I don't know. I don't know what the story is. Paul Allen's older than Bill Gates by several years, I think.
I think Paul Allen's 71 or so. Bill's in his early 60s.
So the thing that Bill Gates
I'll look that up, buddy. My computer's working good.
He was ahead. He understood that the computer was going to be a big thing. And then the problem is that his company got a hold of the fucking operating system, and we need the government to come down just like they did to Orville and Wilbur Wright and say, you know what? Fuck this. Your system sucks. We need to do better. It's for the best interest of the country. You have a monopoly. Fuck you. We're breaking up and taking Windows away from you. And we're going to pay you for each company that's,
Paul
he'll
Allen
end up richer.
Paul Allen just turned 68, by the way. He's not that much older than Bill Gates.
Well, how old's Gates?
Well, I'll look that up. But Paul Allen also, as you know, he's a little bit more mellower than fucking Bill Gates. And he
had non-Hodgkin's lymphoma. That's why he left the company.
He's the 46th richest person in the world, by the way. I'm going to look up Bill Gates' birthday. Yeah, he was born in 1953. He's only 2 years older than Bill Gates. He's a year and a half older than Bill Gates. Bill Gates is October 28th, the same as my sister. Holy shit, 1955.
I would love
62.
62 years old?
Yeah, he's 62, and the other cat is fucking 64, whatever we said. 8, 3, 2. Doesn't matter.
Is he 68 or is he 64?
Hold on, baby. I'll go back.
You said 68.
Oh, you're right. The other guy's 68. This cat is
62.
Yeah.
Hopefully he dies young.
Well, I mean, he's technically getting up there in age. He was the youngster for a long time, and he's getting to be an old man. I don't know. He's an interesting cat.
Piece of shit.
I mean, there's guys like that probably all throughout history, and you just don't know who they are because
he's a scumbag.
But he has definitely held back the fucking advancement of mankind, don't you think?
For 20 years.
It's amazing. Well, yeah, maybe more, Joe. Maybe
years,
more. Definitely knowingly.
He definitely knows.
Wakes up every day for the last 20 years going, how can I suppress the fucking advancement of mankind?
And that's what he's done.
And his foundation is a fucking beard. It's a beard.
It's just a piece of shit.
Because he fucking has held back
He's spending
mankind.
ill-gotten money, which he gets by...
Guy wears too much brown, by the way. Every picture he's got fucking brown on.
Which he gets by selling a new piece of shit operating system anytime they need money.
Years.
And I don't think forcing... What they do is they force all the people that make PCs, put the new fucking...
Joe.
Could I finish, please? Would you stop interrupting me? They make them put it on their fucking... They say, well, we really like Windows fucking 7 build. Nope. You can't do that. You have to put Windows 8 on. Oh, Jesus. So Dell and HP and everybody else has to put fucking the next one on.
Is it because they need money, or is it because that's the business plan? That's got to be the business plan.
Well, of course it's the business plan.
Yeah,
but I mean,
so it's not that they need money. It's the business plan.
But it's a way to make money. It's a shit.
Well, yeah, that's the business plan.
You got to sell everybody something they got to pay $100 for. That's the deal.
But I think what you're saying is that is obviously the business plan, but the business plan isn't necessarily...
Nobody has a choice.
Every 3 years we're going to do this. You're right.
Monopoly. We've broken up monopolies as long as this country's been around. And this company is one of the companies that needs to be fucking broken up so badly. It's unbelievable how stifling of it, the amount of innovation that's being stifled by Microsoft is insane.
So, how many operating systems do you think they got in the bag right now? Like, because obviously you put out a new one, you've already been working on the next one, right? That not just waiting to work on the next one, or do you think that they just they're so shitty that obviously they only when they go, you know what, it's time for a new one.
I would say
just
for
make
90% of the PC users, Windows 95 was probably as good as they ever got. Nothing's really changed.
XP.
There's a fucking or XP. There's a start button down in the fucking corner.
95 and XP weren't that different. You're right. So you're probably right. 95 was really.
You don't need anything else.
You really don't.
Everything else is just fucking.
It's
bullshit.
the same thing.
They tried to make that Windows 8 was with that.
Oh, what a misstep!
I had to download something that mimicked that had the start button because Windows 8 is the one where they try to make it with fucking. Make it look like a cell phone with apps and shit.
Yeah, a tablet.
A piece of shit.
Yeah,
fucking piece of shit. And you know what? They kept the money, even though they didn't release anything like that again.
Right. What else do you want me to look up, buddy?
They kept the money.
I'm going back to real politics.
I don't know. See what it says.
By the way, you know what? I got away from using. I got away from this because you were starting to do all the surfing. So now I'm surfing again. This machine is really cool. I got this little Dell with 7 in it, and it was a business.
It probably doesn't have a lot of programs.
No, I don't have much on there at all. You're right.
Fucking up.
No, I got nothing on there.
If it was a good operating system, it would shut down the programs completely that you don't need.
My wife used this a lot, and that's why I don't bring it home because she was using it too much. And that's how I get. It's like, use your own laptop, bitch. Except hers doesn't have Word on it. This has Word on it. So she does a lot of shit in Word and Excel. This has the whole Office suite on it.
Yeah,
but the one that doesn't run out. This was the last. On this, you got to fucking sign up for it. On this, I'll always have it because it was.
I steal all
because it was a hard disk, not the downloadable thing. Now
I buy computers without operating systems.
Yeah,
for short money.
Yeah,
on eBay.
Right.
And I steal.
Did you do that with that, or did that come with 10? That must have come with 10.
That had 10, but I believe it's a stolen copy. I steal as much as I can from Microsoft. Because it's not really stealing. You're just buying aggravation.
Yeah.
You're just stealing it. It's like stealing a fucking
Joe, I got to tell
baby.
I got to tell you, my whole office right now is run on whatever the Office version is of 10, because you know how there's always an Office version and a fucking home version or whatever.
Right.
We run on that Office version of 10, and there's a lot of shit going through. We got shared drives. We all got our own drives.
Yeah, it'll break.
No. Every day there's a glitch. In something somewhere in the building, every day there's a fucking glitch. And it was mine yesterday. I thought that I lost a day and a half's worth of work, like irreplaceable work, not bids. I was working on tailoring the computer program we use for pricing to look like an Excel spreadsheet. I figured out how to do that for my new boss who is he does the on-screen takeoff. It's linked in with the pricing fucking thing, the quick bid, blah, 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 blah. I figured out how to make it seamless. I came in fucking yesterday after doing it for 2 days straight, and all my databases were gone. It was in the ether somewhere. I literally started. You know me. I don't care about anything. I actually pitched a small fit. I pitched a small fit. You know what I mean? I'm like, what the fuck is going on in this fucking place? You know what I mean? Anyway, the IT guy fucking figured it out. It was nobody else could retrieve it. He retrieved it. Everything's good.
Imagine, if you will. Now, no living person could stand up to this. All the people who have ever been inconvenienced by some frozen up fucking piece of shit Windows.
It's everyone who's ever used a fucking
that
Windows machine
gets to go, and you get to fucking kick Bill Gates in the balls. There would be a line that circles the planet fucking 17 times.
I mean, he'd be dead in less than an hour. He would be dead from internal bleeding. He would bleed the fucking out into his own fucking thoracic cavity.
Say you had Bill Gates tied up, and there was a fence, say 50 feet away, and you could only throw a small pebble at him. he'd probably still be dead
Oh.
within an hour.
Well, certainly you're not letting up for water. You're not taking water breaks. You know what I mean?
Well, I'm talking about you give everybody a fucking pebble.
It would be way longer than an hour. It would be longer. It would be the size of a marble.
Everybody gets to throw one fucking marble at Bill
Is he
Gates.
able to turtle up and cover up?
No, he's tied up.
Oh, then yeah, he's dead in an hour.
So
but if he could,
he can close his eyes and shit, but he can't. He's hands and arms are bound.
Is he given morphine at any point?
No, you just fucking marble him to death.
He's just stoned. We're talking about stoning him. You're talking about stoning Bill Gates.
No, marbling him to death.
Kind of like stoning. It's funny as shit.
No, I mean,
what a funny image.
You can't bring a fucking big rock.
And by the way, he's
only
chain
the size
link
of a marble.
He's chained like spread eagle to a chain link fence somewhere in some fucking place that.
And people just. Everyone that ever had a problem
the Melinda and Bill Gates Foundation donates to.
Trying to fucking figure out where their shit went. Maybe you let the people that actually lost all their fucking data.
Oh my God. It's happened.
I don't know if you put them first.
It's happened to everybody.
They would be dead. He'd be dead way quicker.
You know what? I wonder if you can look that up. How many people a day lose all their data on a Windows machine?
It's got to be a staggering
Hold on.
number.
Can I look that up?
Because it's
Can you
vamp?
Vamp.
Yeah, I'll vamp for a little bit.
Good.
I got to believe that number is. I mean, we're talking Windows is made in like fucking, every language there is, 150 languages around the world. They make this piece of shit, and everybody. I mean, I'm surprised that terrorists haven't fucking flown a plane into Microsoft, quite frankly. I mean, that's got to aggravate a terrorist more than anything. They're trying to put up like a fucking beheading video.
Right.
And it fucking crashes because of fucking Bill Gates and his shitball software.
Man, there's shit going on in the courts right now about Windows 10 already and data loss.
Yeah,
wow.
I'm sure there are lawsuits.
There's fucking lawsuits all over the place.
I'm sure there are lawsuits.
Okay, here you go.
That are trying to break the country. That are trying to break the company up.
Now, this is according to something I just found on the internet. It could be bullshit. All right. It's okay. This is something called the Boston Computing Network. It looks like they got an official website. It could be bullshit, but I'm thinking that these are probably close, right?
They throw you a number.
6% of all PCs will suffer an episode of data loss in any given year. That's what I'm looking for. Hard fucking numbers, right? So 6 out of 100 PCs will suffer an episode. And that doesn't mean they're new or old. That to me sounds like a believable fucking number. You know what I mean? Right. So 6 out of 100 people who use a fucking are buying another one that year. You know what I mean? Because there's shit the bed. A lot of people have more than one that work. Given the number of
people. If they could tell you it's 6 different PCs every year, meaning 6% of the PCs in 2017 or 2016 got fixed and are up and running, and another 6%, which are totally different computers, crashed. It would take less than 20 years for all computers to have lost data. You follow what I'm saying?
Here's the answer to the question that I originally asked. 31% of PC users have lost all of their files due to events beyond their control at some point during their time of owning a PC. That sounds about right. 1 out of 3 of us, and I bet it's even more, but that's conservative. That's fine. 1 out of 3 people
actually lost data.
Have lost all their data, not just some data.
Okay. Yeah, I believe that.
That sounds
true.
Accurate, right?
How many? Type in this.
Yep.
How many hours?
Yeah.
How many man hours have been wasted?
Oh boy.
Trying to correct Windows problems.
All right, you got to vamp a little bit.
So, I mean, that ought to be interesting because I bet it's measured in fucking
we'll find it. I found the other thing quick.
I bet it's measured in like.
By the way, how's your computer doing
17,000.
Is your computer started up yet?
Yeah, it's fine.
Oh, are you?
Yeah, it's working now. But
all right, good. How many man hours have been lost due to what? Been lost due to
Windows operating. I
got you.
Windows problems.
Yeah. Yep, I got it. You got a vamp, buddy.
Because you can make a productivity case.
Ooh, the first thing that comes up says Microsoft is a disgrace.
Yeah, it is. It's fucking.
And it's on Microsoft.com. It's pretty funny.
I'm not alone here. This is an awful, awful fucking company. It's an awful
By the way,
company.
Cell phones
should be fucking broken up.
Cell phones cost employers 5 hours of productivity per week per employee. I believe that because I watch. By the way, never mind people fucking looking at their cell phones, but talking on them. You know how I had the whole you laughed at me because I'm like, well, it's in the manual, man. I can't have my cell phone there.
Right.
But I'm fucking checking all my shit 9 times a day now. I try not to talk on the thing, but I will tell you what, I give my cell phone number to a lot of people that I should give my office phone number to. Just it's easier to talk on this fucking thing and everything's paid for. You know what I mean? My boss got a fucking cell phone. Somebody else got a fucking car. All I want is a laptop to take home.
Now, what do you mean somebody got a car?
One of the PMs got a personal fucking.
Oh, you
PM
mean at work?
Yeah.
Okay.
Get a person. I can't get one, or I can't even drive the. There's a shared one.
Yeah.
I can't even drive that because my drunk driving was recent enough.
Anybody out there
4 years.
that's curious about this Bill Gates thing,
Sorry,
that thinks, that's seen Bill Gates in a fucking setting that he was accustomed to, you have to type in Bill Gates, go to YouTube, type in Bill Gates deposition antitrust case.
Okay.
And watch Bill Gates. He had to admit that he was trying to purposely put fucking Netscape out of business. He was a squirrely, nasty, evil little fuck. And that happened in 1998. And the judge ruled that it was a fucking monopoly. But, unfortunately, he probably... How much does Microsoft spend on lobbying? I'll look that up while you look it up the other thing.
Well, the other... I got to figure out... one of us has got to talk. I can't type and talk. But I put in how many man hours have been lost due to Windows problems. I didn't term that correctly. I got to put, Microsoft Windows... Because everything that's coming up right now is something to have to do with cell phones. They're saying that the average office employee loses 759 hours a year, which I'm going to call 800, to 800 hours a year.
800 hours?
Due to not the Windows thing, but to the cell phone thing. 800 hours divided by 40 is 20.
But we're on the computer
weeks.
thing.
No, I know. I'm telling you. What I'm telling you is what came up after I typed that in. That's all.
I know you're telling me that. But why don't you look up the fucking thing I asked you to look up before I have to come over there and slap you?
Listen, I'm going to beat you to death with this fucking...
There's going to be a fucking on-air beating.
And it ain't going to be you distributing it, believe me.
Yeah.
How many man hours have been lost due to Windows?
Al's bigger than I am, but I'm fucking way meaner.
You're not that mean.
They spent
I guarantee, Joe,
Microsoft
it's going to be
$8.5 million lobbying the U.S. government last year. Tech giants spend record $50 million lobbying. So Microsoft is spending a lot of money lobbying so that they don't break the company up. What a short amount of money. $8 million so that Bill and his fucking ugly wife and his whore kids.
Oh, the first thing that came up again. They don't want to. I must not be terming this.
I bet they're blocking it somehow.
They might be. But I'm on Chrome. Microsoft Windows. Some woman just won $10,000 off Microsoft. Big deal. This is just ridiculous. I just want to know productivity. I mean, Microsoft is a disgrace. Again, that came up. Listen, everybody. we're in a fucking silent zone, and
no, it's fine. I've just Ballmer. Microsoft lost thousands of man hours of innovation on Vista.
How did
Microsoft is a disgrace? Windows 7
got the
sales
same thing.
a problem. Who is responsible?
It's not telling us.
Windows 10 destroyed our data. Microsoft won't fix the
You
most
got all the same
frustrating
things I got.
Microsoft won PC but lost mobile.
If there's
17
anybody,
Windows 10 problems and how to fix
is
it.
there anyone out there in listener land who can help me with this? kinda.right@yahoo.com. kinda.right@yahoo.com. So the next time we get together after you listen to this on Saturday morning when I fucking post it, then
well, it's just what a fucking shit show.
I mean, listen, it's been a source of fucking consternation for you for a while, and then certainly
20 years.
Yeah, you've been talking about it for 20 straight years. And I was always like, you know what, Joe?
And I'm not.
You can learn to use it, and it's fine. It's there.
I wish I was fucking really insane. Why? Because you know who needs a fucking school shooting? Bill Gates' house. Bill Gates' house needs to be fucking
barraged by bullets.
Somebody's got to go out there and fucking case the joint and see when Bill's around, when he's not, where the security is, all that. One of those fucking people that with patience, Navy SEAL motherfucker, maybe a whole team of them, and fucking kill this motherfucker.
I don't know, man. I think you're getting way too worked up.
No, this guy has single-handedly, this motherfucker has single-handedly set back innovation by hundreds. No, I'm gonna dare say hundreds of millions of man hours have been lost fucking around with Microsoft operating systems over the last 20 years. Trying to make the fucking thing work, and innovation has been lost to that. Hundreds of millions of hours of innovation has been lost. Even Steve Ballmer, the fucking scumbag that took over after, he said that Vista cost thousands of man hours for Microsoft because it was such a piece of shit.
Thousands? Why? There's no way they were running their fucking machines on Vista. Vista lasted like 8 months. It didn't take them long to figure out.
That's what I'm talking about. Meaning it was such a piece of shit that their own people had to fuck around.
Did you ever have a machine with Vista on it? I don't know many people who actually had a Vista machine.
No.
I know I didn't. Vista was between XP and
7?
7, yeah. Which 7 actually lasted for a while.
Well,
I mean,
everything is relative.
7's better than 8.
XP, of course, I believe was probably their best product.
Yeah.
That they ever had, relatively.
Yeah.
Still a piece of shit, but relative to their other stuff.
I had the big XP book. Did you?
Course,
the 10-inch thick XP book.
And of course they stopped supporting it because why would they want to have an operating system that works real well be supported?
I gotta say
they're
that
fucking scum.
I have to say, Joe, and we're gonna take a break in a minute. I gotta say that
Bill Gates should be killed.
No, I have 10 at work, and I, at any point in the day, have 7 or 8 programs. I don't know if they're apps now or programs. You know what I'm saying? Open at any time, and I can seamlessly move around. Now, obviously, we got a really state-of-the-art construction facility going on, and our IT department is very good. I admit that Windows 10 is not perfect, and like I said, there is a problem every day somewhere in that building with someone's fucking, workstation. But at any given moment, it is a miracle. It's still a miracle to me. The amount that it allows you to produce at a fucking a fucking high level. You know what I mean?
You're using programs that weren't created by Microsoft.
No, I understand
that
that.
has to run on a Microsoft.
I understand that. I'm talking about the on-center shit.
There are no innovative programs.
I will say, though, that one of those programs is
Microsoft.
Excel. I always got something in Excel open. Is that?
But that's not. They didn't
That's
fucking
fine.
innovate that.
Go ahead. Who
Lotus
innovated
1,
that?
2, 3
Okay,
innovated
that's
that.
fine. I'm just telling you. So,
And then Microsoft either stole it or bought it.
So this is what I'm looking for, your commentary on this. So at any point, I got that on-center shit, which, by the way, I got to believe they were like, it's the same thing as QuickBooks. It looks like QuickBooks. You ever use QuickBooks? I used to use QuickBooks a lot.
No.
Anyway, that's the estimating software, but the on-screen takeoff is obviously a dream. But at any point, I got those two things open. I got Excel open. I got Word open. I got Google fucking Chrome open and Adobe Acrobat and sometimes Adobe Flash. I usually got that shit open at all times.
All right.
And it enables you to get a lot of shit done during the day. The computers are a miracle. It's a miracle.
So regarding the Microsoft operating system, what are you trying to say?
Well, I mean, obviously they didn't write all that shit, but that operating system is
it's able to have you're able
that
to
many
have
things open, and I'm working with all of them seamlessly
probably
all day. Going
something fucking.
now,
Apple
I need two
could have
screens.
done
I got two screens. Oh, I don't know. I don't know, buddy.
Years ago?
I don't know. That and having two screens is amazing. I wish I had 4 or 5 screens. Then that would be equally amazing.
Here's the way you got to think about it.
But
remember the Soviet Union?
that was the original. No, that was that's Russia. Used to be Russia.
All right, think about this. Think about Microsoft
It was Russia, then the Soviet Union, then Russia.
in the
again.
computer world as the Soviet Union. Okay?
I know. Yeah, okay.
All right? So Soviet Union produced a car called the Lada. Okay? And this is back when the Soviet Union owned all companies. And the Lada,
Is that LATA?
I think it's LADA.
I'll look it up, buddy. Keep going.
The Lada, which basically had very little innovation, it's basically a piece of shit. So what I'm trying to say is when you have
LATA, you got it, buddy.
when you have a one means of production, no competition whatsoever, no competition allowed, there are things that you can't even imagine that somebody else will think up, which is why the Soviet Union, as compared to the United States, or I should say Russia now, compared to the United States, it's just a fucking basket case. The amount of patents the Soviet Union...
Not a lot of innovation going on over there, man.
Because they're still suffering from the attitude and the way that the Soviet Union used to operate. They're still suffering from that. And the freedom to innovate by looking at the success of the United States in general has brought about the biggest progress known to man ever. So allowing one company to only, basically they control the personal computer industry. They control it. They tell the manufacturers of hardware what they can and can't do. They control it. And they will never be able to think of all the things that, say, 5 companies that had the operating system, Microsoft operating system, that if they had the source code and could go in there and fix it and tailor it and have 5 competing companies, there's no way they could ever produce it. We would have the best running fucking operating system. You'd push the button on your computer and it would boot up in 3 seconds. You could run 500 applications at the same time.
It just makes you wonder if some other capitalist would have fucked that all up too, though, Well,
when you say, what do you mean?
Well, I mean, you're blaming the lack of advancement in operating systems on the fact that Bill Gates is a scumbag capitalist.
No. It's not that he's a scumbag capitalist. This company's a fucking monopoly, and he
through no fault of his own.
No.
Right.
No. Oh, through a lot of fault of his own.
But he manipulated the U.S. government into allowing him to be a...
Not only did he manipulate the U.S. government, but he crushed other innovative companies.
Oh, sure, yeah, no, I know.
Which you could just say, well, that's business, tough luck. But what Bill Gates did is fucking stifled innovation.
Right. No, I'm with you on that.
And when you say, well, wouldn't somebody else could?
Yeah, right.
Well, yeah, one of those. Say they broke Microsoft up.
Yeah.
And they said, okay, the government says, 5 companies can buy the fucking.
One of those mini Microsoft guys.
We're going to have a lottery, and 10 companies can bid, or will be by lottery will be chosen, and they can now innovate the Microsoft Windows operating system.
By the way, do all of those mini Microsofts go instantly out onto the market and people buy shares in them? It's not going to be like the mini Bells, right? The mini Bells.
Well, it'd be much like the mini Bells.
Would it be like the mini Bells? Did that work out
of course
or not?
There's not going to. Of course it did.
Did it? Okay.
When in 1980, it cost $500 to call Europe.
It sure did. Yeah, now it costs nothing.
Now you can talk to Europe.
As cheap as anything.
30 years later, you can talk to Europe for basically nothing.
Well, right. Not on a cell phone, but they're still working that out.
So we went in a period of, is it 40 years? Or 30 years. Right?
The Bells?
80 to 90.
That was closer to 40 than 30, man.
I guess 40 years.
Yeah, it's 40
years.
Yeah.
I remember being in college. We had a couple buddies that went to Denmark on exchange. And it was like $5 a fucking minute to talk to him.
Yeah.
And now...
Which, you know what? That ain't that bad a price.
Oh, that's great. Now you can speak for like a week and a half.
For $5.
For $5.
Not even. It's like, you got to fucking really talk a lot to spend
not
$5.
only can you talk, not only can you speak to them for free on Skype, but you can stare at them while they're in another country.
Yeah.
So when you say, did that work out? If they had let AT&T, they broke that up in 1980. If AT&T was still, there would only be AT&T. I don't think there'd be fucking cell phones.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So AT&T being broken up was one of the best things that the government has ever done. And Microsoft... at some point will be broken.
Oh, yeah, you might be right, especially after he's gone, like officially gone, dead.
I think he
might
has
not
to
be in
die.
our lifetime. Yeah, I'm going to say it might not be in our
die.
You and I might die before him, man. You know what I'm saying? He's got good doctors. He's got good doctors.
I'm going to outlive that fuck.
I don't know.
Because you know what? He's a fucking...
He's only 7 years older than you, man.
Yeah, but you know what? He's
got good doctors. You got good doctors, too.
Yeah, but he's genetically... He might be smart, but he's genetically a fucking...
He's going to be one of the...
nightmare.
Dude, he's going to be one of these dudes who lives to 120. He's going to be 120, I'm telling you.
He's not. Because I'm telling you, he's never done any exercise in his life.
No, you're wrong. He rides the bike every day.
No, he doesn't.
You don't think so?
Even if he does,
he's not that soft.
He's got his fucking...
His fingers are soft. You know that.
He's got fucking cottage cheese all over his body.
Oh, my God.
I'm telling you.
By the way, I shook hands with my son last night.
Yeah.
His hands are officially harder than mine. That's crazy.
Well, at least
I've been working with my hands for 30 years.
I'm glad that you didn't grab his cock.
Yeah, right. On that note, we're going to take a quick break, Joe. I know that you're on a roll, baby, but we're going to talk some more. I need a little break.
Fuck Bill Gates. Fuck Melinda and fuck his kids.
And listen.
Fuck Steve Ballmer, too.
When we come back, we're probably going to keep talking about the same old thing. So relax, baby, okay?
I went home with the waitress, the way I always do. How was I to know was gambling in Havana. I took a little risk. Send lawyers, guns, and money. Dad, get me out of this. Ha! I'm the innocent bystander. Somehow I got stuck between the rock and the hard place, and I'm down on my luck. Yes, I'm down on my luck. Well, I'm down on my luck. I'm hiding in Honduras. I'm a desperate man. Send lawyers, guns, and money. This shit has hit the fan. Guns and money. Send lawyers, guns and money. Send lawyers, guns and money. Guns and money. Oh! Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Say that again. We're back.
How was your daughter?
My daughter's great, man. First of all, she looks great. She figured out her eating.
Now you saw her when you went up to
Bangor
Maine.
2 weekends ago. Yep.
Yes.
That's why I went to Bangor to visit my daughter.
Now, is she and Kitty getting along?
I mean,
I don't mean to call you Kitty Cat, but
Cat.
It's pretty funny calling you Kitty.
A lot of people have called her that over the years. I mean, when your name
Do you
is
pet your kitty?
I mean, here's the thing. I'm not going to get into the details of. I'm not going to get into the personal details of my breakup with my ex. But the thing is when you break up and you got children of any age,
it's tough.
It's tough, and you don't want to see anybody hurting. And my current wife currently wishes, although she's fucking doing a lot better herself, Kat wishes that the kids, I don't know, she's not looking for respect. All she wants is the kids to like her. And it's a slow process. It's a slow process.
Aren't the kids older than your wife?
Let me think about that for a second.
No.
But here's the thing. She was born in 1986. I graduated high school in 1986. My daughter was born in 1996. So
I graduated in 81.
My daughter
and
my daughter Charlene's stepmother is only 10 years older than her. You know what I mean? Evan's stepmother is only 16 years older or whatever the fuck.
Right.
You know what I mean? When was he born? 2000? Charlene is 96. Yeah, so.
Was Evan born in 2000?
He was born in 2000, yeah.
Jesus. Really?
Yeah, September.
You know, I always think about, like, everything after the millennium, because I got divorced in 2000.
Yep.
Like, as relatively new. But I guess things in 2000 are 18 years old.
Yeah, crazy, right?
Which is,
how about
a no-brainer.
What did they call that
crazy.
virus that they thought was going to happen?
Oh, the Y2K deal.
Y2K, right? Well, anything Y2K was a long time. It was a generation ago almost, man.
I mean, that's crazy.
How fucking fast time's going by, man.
A lot of people don't know. The world was going to end.
So what we were originally talking about, here's the thing.
Killing Bill Gates.
Everyone's getting along. And you know what? It's a long process. And I've used every ounce of my energy for the past few years to keep everybody as not happy, because no one's going to be happy, but as comfortable and nice to each other as possible. And it seems to be working out. We all seem to be getting along. And it's the kids. Now, like I said, I told you, and it's come up now 3 or 4 times. Evan gave me the business a couple weeks ago. He seems to be fine. He just needed to get it off his chest, and that's fine.
Right.
I was begging him to get it off his chest. I'm glad he got it off. He needed to get it off his chest.
Yeah.
Charlena and Kat.
Got to be able to vent, man.
Charlena and
Otherwise,
Kat.
you're going to go shoot up a school.
It gets better every time they're together. And like I say, one day my kids are going to understand everything that not just that I sacrificed, but that their mother sacrificed. You know what I mean? That we both sacrificed when we decided to not be together anymore.
Well, it
wasn't just me leaving. It was her fucking allowing the marriage also. She could have fought for it, and it was not... the fighting for it period was done.
Well, look,
we both agreed. We agreed that our marriage was over.
You're both decent people.
I love her.
Your kids will be fine.
No, they're going to be fine. So to answer your question, it's better. It's better. The cool thing is that my wife, my current wife, my wife, and my daughter are both like fashionistas. So they have that.
Yeah.
They got that. They got the clothing thing. And when we went to Bangor, I fucking held back. Like I literally was like, hey, I'm going to go over here. You guys go do your thing for most of the day that we spent together. And the two of them got along great. So what I'm saying is I think everything's going to be okay, Joe.
I know. They will. It will. And you know something? One of the things that, when I had a talk with my daughter, it was very important to me that she understood that Patty had nothing to do with the demise of our marriage.
Well, yeah.
Which, I think she knew that from the get-go. Much like Kat had nothing to do with the demise.
Nothing
Kat
at all.
Steal you away.
No.
She wasn't a fucking family breaker-upper.
My marriage was over long before Kat and I were together.
On a good note here.
Yeah.
Now read this. TMZ reports Chevy Chase went and tracked down a truck. He says cut him off. But when he tried to confront the driver, he ended up getting booted to the ground.
Well, isn't old Chevy clocking in at about 73, 74 years old? He's a big motherfucker. I'm surprised he ain't dead yet. He's one of those guys physically who die or whatever. He's got good doctors, but you know what I'm saying.
Well, Chevy realized there was no damage to either vehicle, but approached the driver to speak to him, in quotes, about his reckless driving. Claims there were 3 other people in the truck, and one of them flipped him off, apparently not Fletch or Caddyshack fans.
Nice.
Chevy says he fired back. If I were a lot younger, I'd bust your nose.
No,
then one of them got out and kicked him in the shoulder so hard he went to the ground.
That's awesome. Fuck you, Chevy.
I wish somebody would do that to Alec Baldwin. Alec Baldwin needs to fucking shit kicked
I don't know,
out
man.
of him, doesn't he?
He seems to have some weird rage, though. Like,
well, yeah.
You're probably going to need a gun or a club or something.
Screaming at his kid there.
That was a while ago.
Yeah, but still, he's a fucked up dude.
Yeah, I mean...
He's an asshole. I shouldn't say he's a fucked up dude. What he is an asshole.
Well, he's one of our finest actors, but
he's a great actor. He's just an asshole.
Yeah, he sucks.
He
is well spoken though.
No, he's not.
No, he really is.
I mean, he can put together.
He's
a
quick.
too.
He's quick.
But what he's talking about is all bullshit.
I mean,
anybody that thinks Rachel Maddow is a fucking genius.
Does he really think she's a genius?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I'm sure he does. I know there's another
Rachel
governor in hot
Maddow.
water.
A man dressed in a woman's body.
Oh, my God. Missouri Republican Governor Eric Greitens indicted on invasion of privacy charge. That's nice, Eric.
What does that have to do with?
Has nothing to do with anything. I'm just looking up news stories.
Is it part of... hey, Mueller indicted Manafort again.
And Gates, not Bill Gates, but the... that guy... What was that guy's job? Shit. I had it.
Roger Stone?
No, he indicted a couple guys, Manafort and some dude Gates. Oh my God!
Did he have something to do with the? I wonder if the Mueller indictment has anything to do. You know how these fucking things end up? Yeah. See, here it is.
Yeah, go ahead.
This whole thing. So there's a special counsel that was to get to the bottom of this Russia fucking influence stuff, right?
Yeah.
All this bullshit, which there is none.
Well, clearly, you got nothing.
There's none.
Yeah,
there's nothing.
Right.
So what ends up happening is
it's people who were paid to take ads out.
They go around. They go and investigate the fuck out of all these people, and then they don't indict. They indict them on like here we go. Mueller adds new bank fraud charges. So it has nothing to do with the fucking investigation.
Right.
It's just they found something that he did criminal that just happened to be, while we were looking, we found that he did something, But it has nothing to do with the original investigation. So it's fucking bullshit. And if this guy, because Mueller is in the public spotlight, he has to find something. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
Meaning he's got to charge somebody with something.
Oh, yeah.
So that he can keep his fucking reputation or ego or whatever, probably the whole combination of it. So this is all, just remember, folks, you pay for all this. You pay for these assholes, these fucking scumbag prosecutors. Mueller is basically a fucking scumbag.
Well, he's at the very least an incompetent boob. That shit. Listen, that shit.
He's got a face like fucking John Kerry.
Yeah, they look like they're
disgusting.
They look like a fucking
lurch looking motherfuckers.
That? Not a tryout. When you fucking try out for a movie or a play, what they look like an audition.
You know that.
They look like an audition for the Frankenstein fucking movie.
Do you remember that movie that Cher had that kid with some fucking disease and his head?
It was
like
Eric Stoltz, and he played Rocky something.
And
right.
his fucking
face was all fucked up.
Well, Mueller and Kerry have some of that. Like Kerry's fucking head weighs 40 pounds, no question. There's like fucking 8 inches of bone that goes down from where his chin is.
Right.
So,
listen.
Same thing with Mueller.
I mean,
douchebag.
I'm not feeling that handsome myself, so I don't know if I can crash on those guys. You know what I mean?
No. Neither one of us is all that handsome. But I'm just saying, these guys aren't out. This fucking Mueller guy has to fuck with people who probably just should be left alone.
Joe, they indicted 13 Russian people this weekend who will never stand trial. And if they did stand trial, it would be in absentia. You know what I mean? They're never going to stand trial. And all these people essentially did. This is what meddling in an election is. Essentially, all they did was they bought ads. They wrote and bought ads.
Right.
To say that how is that?
So is there a link between the 13 people that were indicted and the Russian government?
No, and there's not a link between them and the Trump campaign.
Right. So there's no. Well, I knew that one. So what you're saying is there are 13 Russian citizens who bought ads against Hillary Clinton.
Correct.
Basically. So meaning like we could probably buy ads in another country against some politician.
Anybody you want.
That has a free press.
Yeah.
Right? Or free speech.
Yeah. That's why it's a non-story.
So I don't even think it's illegal.
Is it
illegal?
No, obviously.
Is that meddling?
They're not even going to... It looked like they were going to try to bring him to trial in absentia, and now they're not even going to do it because there's no case.
So meaning...
There's no case.
Like, they didn't hack... These 13 guys that were indicted, or men and women, whatever.
And you can indict a ham fucking sandwich.
Right. That's the old saying.
Right.
But... Did any of these people hack like the DNC?
They have no direct evidence of that.
So
literally.
This is all it's all bullshit.
Yeah, it is. Robert Mueller is a snake oil salesman.
You know why Hillary Clinton lost? Because she's an awful fucking cunt.
She's maybe the worst person who ever roamed the earth.
Lost, and it was the greatest fucking feeling I've ever had.
What a fucking great night to be an American.
Maybe not the greatest feeling I've ever had, but it was a fucking great evening watching her lose.
Oh, it was awesome. And
especially because we went into that
and she never came down. She never came down.
She was going to win. Yeah, because she's such a useless cunt.
Because she got drunk on vodka and was too busy assaulting everybody in her suite.
She was throwing shoes.
Oh, my God.
Any object that would move at people. Because
this was supposed to be the time, even though 8 years prior, even though fucking Barack stuck it to her 8 years prior in the primaries. You know what I mean? She was destined to lose that. Destined.
So great.
Beautiful, right?
It's just the best.
To someone who never won political office before, but was certainly qualified to be president of the United States. More qualified. Are you listening, Lisa? Are you listening, Dan? Are you listening, everybody? Paul, are you listening? More qualified. Donald Trump was and is more qualified to be president of the United States than Hillary Clinton, who is, at the end of the day, a useless cunt, and history will not treat her well.
And a fucking criminal.
A criminal. History will not treat her well.
Absolute criminal.
A woman who went after not only people who accused her husband, Bill Clinton, of being a rapist, but women who were raped. Raped.
Yes.
By her husband,
Bill
Clinton.
Raped.
Those women were raped by Bill Clinton. And you know it. And there's no doubt about it.
Hey, and you know what?
And she went after them to make their lives miserable.
Bet your ass she did.
Because she's
a horrid cunt.
A horrid person. The worst type of person. The worst type of person.
She ain't no feminist. And every position she's ever had was given to her by a man.
Absolutely.
Including Senator of New York.
Oh, my God.
Daniel Patrick Moynihan.
Handed her that.
Who was like one of the longest running senators, longest sitting senators.
Right, he had been right at that time, right.
Decided to retire. It said, Hillary, why don't you run? Off the heels of Bill Clinton blowing loads all over Monica Lewinsky.
Right.
Because he felt bad for her.
Oh, yeah.
So, and then she ran. She was running against Rudy Giuliani, who got fucking cancer in the middle of the election.
Right. Who would have been president, by the way.
Well, he certainly would have been senator.
Yeah, well, he definitely would have been senator.
Although we don't know that, because there's 2 million more Democrats in New York than Republicans.
Who knows? Who fucking knows?
But we'll never know. So this woman, as far as being qualified, she never got a job that wasn't given to her by some guy.
Shit. She's not qualified to empty my fucking garbage.
I believe she's qualified to lick the shit out of my ass.
She's qualified to lick my taint. That's it.
She can lick the shit. She can suck the fucking hair out of the trap in my shower.
She's qualified
to do that.
She's qualified to clean Bill Clinton's jism out of the fucking vaginal cavity of the nearest dog.
Or woman that he's fucked.
Right.
Or raped.
Right. She's qualified to actually scoop
She
the
can
cum
clean the
out of
cum.
Monica
Bill
Lewinsky's fucking trap.
She'll be able to, she's qualified to get the jizz out of the 12-year-old that Bill Clinton fucked.
Yeah, right.
On the Lolita Express.
Right.
With his fucking pedophile pal.
She's
that owns
qualified.
an island with his like 14-year-old kids trapped.
Right. She's qualified to fucking clean the rectal hole of Paula Jones with her tongue. That's what she's qualified for.
She's qualified to, first of all, she should go down to, now I can't think of the woman's name. The woman that was actually raped.
Juanita Jones?
Yeah, Broderick.
Rob Broderick, sorry. Juanita Jones.
Who, by the way, never wanted to come public with her allegation. Never wanted to come public, which gives her so much more credibility. She was forced to come public because Paula Jones sued and won. Well, Bill Clinton settled, gave Paula Jones $850,000. Paula Jones's lawyers brought up Juanita Broderick. It forced her into the limelight.
Right.
She never wanted to be, and she was a very successful woman down in Arkansas. Hillary Clinton should go down there and mow her fucking lawn first.
Right. By the way, Nancy.
And then
go ahead.
Suck the jizz out of Juanita's toenails.
Yeah, right.
You know that fucking horrible cheese?
Yeah, right.
She should be forced to eat that while sitting on a fucking, like a frozen shit dildo.
Right.
And have the,
right.
from an AIDS patient.
Right. By the way, I don't want you to take any, please don't take any personal offense to what I'm about to say, but your evil cunt sister, Nancy,
oh my God,
who probably never even voted in an election until Hillary Clinton was the fact that she fucking schlepped out to fucking vote for Hillary Clinton a couple times and was fucking just rejected. It gives me a satisfaction akin to 100,000 orgasms.
You know
what I mean? Nancy, you fucking cunt.
I didn't know what kind of
and I know you listen to the show,
person.
Nance, by the way. She listens to the show. She listens to the show. Every second she listens to it.
I thought I had
Vamp, I gotta pee.
I had one person. I thought she was normal, and she turned out to be fucking insane.
You know what? She might be normal. Maybe she is normal.
No, she's crazy. Crazy person.
Not a nice person.
But I think that Bill Gates, I'm looking at him here in 1998, and he was being deposed by the attorney who went and got the gay rights legal in California, turned over the David Boies. David Boies and
he's been in every fucking major
he's a big time lawyer. David Boies and the guy who lost, he was the Solicitor General. He lost his wife on 9/11. Ted Olson.
Ted Olson, right?
Yes.
Those guys, they were arguing against each other again?
No, they argued. They teamed.
Oh my God, that's amazing.
Well, you knew this already, though. They teamed up before gay marriage became 50-state legal.
Now, remember, they argued against each other in Bush versus Gore, right?
Of course.
Yeah, right, okay.
I think so. But they teamed up together to overturn Prop whatever in California.
Prop 8.
And won.
Oh, really?
But David Boies deposed Bill Gates. A very uncomfortable Bill Gates. And you can watch it
during
on YouTube.
that thing?
No. This is back in 1998.
Oh, yeah. We've talked about that, which is weird because you think that David Boies would lick fucking Bill Gates' fucking taint for him.
Well, I think David Boies will argue, like all fucking lawyers, he's definitely a scumbag, and probably wherever the most money is, he'll go. He probably work for Bill Gates today.
Yeah, right. Oh, yeah. I mean,
if the price was right,
These guys, yeah, you're right. These guys
They got no conscience.
No conscience. They're just, they're just putting shit together. David Boyce, by the way, was born in 1941, March 11th. His 77th birthday is coming up.
Old.
He's getting old. He might be all done. I wonder about, you know what? I think him and old Ted fucking are old friends and have dinner together a lot.
Of course
they
do.
Because you know what? It's all about the fucking Benjamins, man. That's fine. That's America. That's where we live. If you want to be a fucking scumhole fucking lawyer, that's fine. You know what I mean? It's all about the Benjamins, buddy. You know that. You're looking to fucking maximize your downtime.
I'll play
These guys
devil's advocate.
Go ahead.
Lawyers, even personal injury lawyers.
Lawyers, guns, and money, Al.
Are
Lawyers,
the
guns, and
last
money
line
is
of
going to
def-
be the song
They are
tonight.
the
Sorry,
last
go ahead.
line of defense against companies being able to sell awful, destructive shit to people, which they would in a heartbeat if they weren't afraid of getting sued.
Right.
Playing devil's advocate here because everybody hates fucking lawyers. And I hate the court system. I hate judges and lawyers. And the fucking, well, I don't hate them. But it's a whole industry.
Right.
The fucking prison guards, the cops, the fucking lawyers, the judges, that whole criminal justice system is a big swill hole of shit.
David Boyce. What?
Gonna look up.
David Boyce represented New York Yankees owner George Steinbrenner in a private suit, a civil suit, against Major League Baseball.
Hey now.
And it involved an action against all the teams. The Atlanta Braves are owned at that point.
He'll fucking sue anyone.
He will.
He'll sue his own mother if someone will pay him.
And as we all know, he represented Al Gore in Bush versus Gore.
And Al Gore, Mr. Climate Change,
and Mr. Internet. Let's not forget that.
Who's made something like $100 million off of climate change.
Oh my God!
You know, between the movie, the first movie.
That's a big ass house you got too there,
yeah,
Al.
Yeah, he had to put. He and Tipper they split up.
He lives in a house bigger than an average fucking hotel,
and
way bigger.
Yeah, but he's definitely he's concerned about climate change, even though even though there's a freight train engine running outside his house.
Well, and his
fucking air conditioned.
And anytime he goes to fucking buy a coffee,
he's in a private plane.
He's not in a private plane. He's in a motorcade with fucking 5 Yukons.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? 5 fucking.
I don't know if there's that many now. I don't think anybody's interested in killing Al. He's so boring.
I don't think it's a matter of wanting to kill him. I think it's just a matter of old Al needs to show off a little. By the way, how fucking sweet is it that Al Gore is as inconsequential as a fucking former fucking heavyweight Democrat can be?
If he died tomorrow,
nobody would care.
Nothing would happen.
You know
No
who
one
else
would
wouldn't care? Who was that
then
guy?
again, most people.
Howard
Think
Dean
about
is
it.
another
Everybody could die. Take the most 100. I can't talk.
Go
tonight.
do it.
Take the most important 100 people in the world.
Yeah.
Kill them.
Yeah.
And in a week,
Nothing
will change.
Nothing will change. Yeah, I think if Donald Trump gets killed, some shit'll change.
But not much.
Not quickly.
Not much would change. Pence would take over.
Pets would take. What did you say?
Pence. Mike Pence.
Oh yeah.
Pence would take over.
Yeah.
There wouldn't be. Actually, well, there'd be a lot of happy people.
Oh my God.
On the Democratic side.
We
would be very upset. Speaking for myself,
if Trump
because
died,
we
that would
love
suck.
Donald Trump.
Yeah, that would suck. There's not that many like real important. If Warren Buffett up and died, nothing's going to really change.
He's just got to.
Well, all his money's going to go away, and then there's a lot less is going to get invested in business. If Warren Buffett died, that might not be good. You don't think? No,
Nothing.
Especially, yeah, you're right.
As much as he has a lot of money in the grand scheme of things,
Right.
like the federal government, Warren has enough money to run the government for like 2.5 days.
Jesus Christ, I'm trying to think of some other important people in the world. It's hard. Vladimir Putin.
Well, he should die.
If he did die, would stuff change?
I don't know, but he should die.
For the better? Maybe more than the worse.
You know, I thought he might be all right until I watched a documentary about how involved he was
KGB-wise?
in making sure that the athletes at Sochi from Russia, as many of them would win as possible.
Yeah, that's a little shady. Yeah.
And he was wicked involved in that.
I mean, if that's all you're hung up on, by the way.
Yeah, but
because he's done some other awful shit.
Well, he's killed some people. Apparently, he's killed some people.
By the way, born 1952, October. So
but you
call
know,
that. He's only 65. He's only
his
65.
fucking countrymen
He's been in power a long time.
Well, because he did the little trick there. He did two terms.
Got out
for a term, and then the puppet was in there. And he was, what, prime minister while the guy was...
Something like that, whatever they called it. Yeah.
And then he ran again, but they voted him in.
And prime minister was doesn't mean anything over there. That's kind of like party leader. It's party leader.
When you think about
well,
it...
same thing in England. It's only a party leader, but they are not the head of state. What do they call that? Whatever.
Other than having a lot of nuclear weapons... Other than that, Russia's a fucking joke.
Yeah, they are a joke.
I mean, economically, they're a fucking
They're
joke.
less of a fucking headache also than China. China is our biggest headache.
Yeah.
Only
China's
because
huge.
they've invested so much in us. You know what I mean? China's a fucking headache, by the way.
Well, you know what they say.
Although I think that China would be more. I've sat here and said this, and I'm sorry, everybody, if we repeat ourselves, because
we do.
China would be more than happy to let us take care of old fucking North Korea fucking boy.
I don't know. They'd
be more than happy to let us take care of him. You know what I mean? They're like, Donald, you do your thing.
Here's how the Russian economy is $1.283 trillion in 2016. As opposed to the United States, we're 18
I was going to say
$1.5
that's
trillion.
shit. And they got a lot of people and a lot of land.
The United Kingdom, $2.6 trillion.
Oh my God, Russia sucks.
Russia's a fucking joke.
It's almost a third world country. It's second world at best.
It's a joke.
And there's no such thing as second world.
Why anybody ever thought that they were fucking, because I guess they had a lot of nuclear weapons. And we thought that they...
Because of us, by the way, at the end of World War II. You know what I mean?
Well, Patton wanted to go right into Russia. Maybe it was
But we had already given up the ghost. You know what I mean?
Yeah, we had
already given up the ghost.
All right, I can't speak anymore, so we should... This show's been about 2 hours.
You know, when you say you can't speak, it's by the time
'Cause
we're done.
My brain's not working.
What do you mean you can't speak? Is it? Would you have too much booze? You're drinking Diet Coke?
No. It's like I'm...
What are you tired?
I'm saying things backwards. Yeah, I think I'm tired.
Joe, by the way, this is gonna. We didn't do any saying fuck. We didn't talk much about our cocks.
We're trying to get better on the fucking cunt stuff.
This was a great show. It was nonstop talk.
We don't want to be known as the guys that only say fuck and
cunt. We're not that. Although, by the way,
we try to use it in an appropriate manner.
Your boy, my father's boss there before my father retired, Dave.
Do you hear from Dave? Do you get comments?
Well, what I do is when there are particularly randy shows or rowdy shows,
send them to him.
I send them to him. I'm like, what do you think of this? And sometimes he's like, what he says is early on he listened and he said that he felt that we were going out of our way
to say fucking
to
cunt.
just be, rude and stuff.
Well, we were. And still
so
are.
I'm like, Dave, we lost all that. And then so the show that I fucking that I gave him the link to was the show where...
How many ways can you say you want Bill Gates to die?
The show that I gave him was the show where you were on the phone with CNN about Jim Acosta.
Yeah, Jim Acosta.
Having his dick... at least halfway in a dog.
He's fucking a dog as we speak, I know.
Not a dog.
Several.
Your personal dog.
Oh, did I say that?
Jim's over here fucking my dog.
Can you come get him?
Listen, somebody's got to fucking come get Jim because his dick is in my dog.
He's the dog sort of likes it, but Jesus, Jim's getting all fucking crazy.
All right, here's the thing. It's 8:35, and I'm going to break the world's record for getting the other night's show up before I leave. So I'm going to be here for a little while, but once again, we're kind of right. If you want to talk to us, listen, kind of right at yahoo.com, kind of right at yahoo.com.
Maybe we should name the show Kinda Cunt.
So what I'm thinking is it would be really cool if we had
Kinda fucking cunts.
What would be cool is if we had kinda right at kindaright.com. What do you think about that, buddy?
I don't know how any of that shit works.
What are you talking about? I thought you were developing our website.
Yeah, it's not going fast.
Why? What's wrong? Did you hit a snag or?
No, I'm
just
fucking lazy.
A high level of disinterest.
I did go on to the WordPress thing, and I lost where I was doing these steps because I clicked on what's your level of
care
web knowledge about building a website, and they had like 5 categories, and mine was like absolutely fucking
0.
none.
Right.
So I was at that stage, and then it didn't save my place, so I kind of have to go through.
And
that
then
again.
Patty brought you a fucking bowl of soup, and it was all over.
Yeah,
you
so
lost
enough of
interest.
But I did not get the art that you said you sent.
And
I
sent it
searched
to you several times.
I searched your email, and it ain't there.
I will send it to you before I leave again tonight.
All right.
No problem.
Listen, I'm Joe. He's Al. We're kind of right. I'm going to fucking eat.
Joe, have a good weekend, and I'll see you Tuesday, all right?
Later, dude.